Hey, beautiful friends. It's me, Jane, your spiritual guide on these nows. I really kind of want to come up with something that I can actually say at the beginning of every video that would be consistent. So until then, it's that. So anyway, hi. I hope that you're doing really well wherever you are in this now. Wherever you are, I also invite you to just take a few deep breaths and come back home. Come back home to your body, to your breath, to you, to your heart. You can place a hand on your heart, on your belly, and just come back home. And because this is where the magic is. And this is what I want to talk about. So what I am realizing that I want to share because it may resonate. I'm realizing that as we are growing and evolving and, learning and shifting and all of the things, that we will get opportunities to kind of like prove what we've learned, right? It's kind of like if I learn how to drive a car all the time, it's not until I get behind the wheel and like drive that sucker like from here to far away that I'm like, wow, I did the city, I did the country, I did high speed highway, I did like gravel roads. Like, it's not until you really like go through all of the experiences that you actually kind of like prove to yourself that you actually can, right? So we get these opportunities to expand and grow through and apply what we've known or what we've learned, right? Well, really what we've remembered. So something that I'm finding really interesting because, so I teach quantum spirituality. I see everything through this like super quantum lens, and that's just how I navigate everything from the micro to the macro. And so I had an experience, so I'll share this. A few days ago, I was in a situation that my body walked into a situation that my mind and my emotional system had like moved through, processed, cleared, healed, whatever, like released it, had the experience, right? And then my body was put back into a situation that was reflective of that in which I had healed from or had recently healed from, right? So it was like the wound was still a little bit fresh. And my body was like, what the hell? This sucks. And my mind was like, I'm very aware that this is uncomfortable for you, Jane. I know why. There are many valid reasons. I can tell you all of the valid reasons why you're experiencing this discomfort. My emotions were, they felt like dull versions of heightened versions that they once had been when I had previously been in these experiences. So it was like a little rumble of grief and a little rumble of anger and a little grrr of frustration and a little like rejection, abandonment, lies, and like all of these things in my emotional body were activated. But they weren't like this grandiose experience, but they all got a little like activated, just little boop, 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 boop. Okay. So my emotional body was like, what is this? What is happening? My mind was like, well, I can tell you why this is happening. My body, however, it felt like, if you imagine like a grid, but almost like a multi-dimensional grid, so like a fifth dimensional grid, and like you're holding it and you can kind of see through all the squares. It was like someone took that and just went and like kind of jumbled it up. So that was what it felt like in my physical body. And it was as if I were in two timelines in that now. I was in the present timeline of, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. I'm aware. I have clarity around it. I know I'm safe. I know that none of this matters. I know that this literally is just a projection in the hologram of life, like totally aware. And my physical body, because it was put back into a situation that was reminiscent of a previously lived one, my body's nervous system experience was that from the past. So that created this opportunity for me to like navigate. And it was not the most fun of waters to navigate. The way I tend to navigate things is I am like super truth. I'm a Sagittarius. So Michelle Knight, who's an astrologer, I think she's super badass. She refers to Sagittarians as the truth ponies and the truth monsters. The truth ponies. I don't know, one of the two. Either way, it's accurate. And so I clearly communicate. And so my communication was to another human. And I was like, look, I am experiencing feelings of, I don't feel safe. I don't feel trust. My nervous system is in a response. I need to just like pause on this, and I need to just like step away and we can reconvene. So I was clear in the communication. But I'm noticing that not everyone is like that, right? Not everyone is like me. And I don't want everyone to be like me, not even a little bit. But what I'm noticing is if we can communicate what I'm experiencing in the now, it helps me navigate it. One, for myself, but also if you're experiencing something, that it helps me navigate and support you. Like, oh, okay, so you're feeling unsafe and you're feeling lack of trust or you're feeling anger. I'm not going to take it personally. That's part of the work. I'm just going to hold space and I'll trust. I will trust. I'll put the trust out there that you'll come back to me when you do feel safe, when you are ready. So navigating communication through a physiological response, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, that shit ain't easy. Right? It's kind of like if I'm bleeding profusely and I'm going to the doctor and I'm like, well, doc, so I happened to get my arm caught in this really sharp device and it started to eat my flesh away. You know, like, I'm probably not going to be that calm and collected, right? I'm going to be like, son of a, oh God, I'm fucking bleeding, right? Because my body is in the experience of like gushing out the blood. What's challenging is if somebody sees that shit, like they're going to give you all this grace, right? They're going to be like, oh my God, you're bleeding, let me help. But here's the thing, when we do that on the inside, nobody has a clue. No one has a clue if I am triggered as fuck. Nobody has an idea, right? Only me. You know, you might be able to sense it. You might be able to see it in my face or whatever, but like, you don't know it if like you would if I were like bleeding profusely, right? So then if I am, say, in this triggered space, my body is put into another place. It's like if you almost get in a car accident, right? That's a great example. If you almost get in a car accident, right? Your mind is like, I'm safe. It's all good, right? Like, I'm so grateful that what potentially could have happened didn't. But your nervous system went through a holy shit, I could have died moment. So your body is experiencing the trauma as if it happened because there is a part of your mind that took it there, right? The bigger part of your mind, the frontal lobe, is like, I'm safe. But this other part of your brain literally projected and saw the impact happening. So your body literally reverberates that through its own cellular structure. So although the body isn't physically navigating the trauma of, say, a vehicular impact, it's navigating the concept of it because our body doesn't know any differently. Our body reacts to whatever it is our mind tells us. If our mind says, this is a scary place, this is scary, this is so afraid, I'm so afraid, then our body is gonna like start to increase blood pressure. It's gonna start to vibrate or shake, or like we'll have a nervous system response. And nervous system came in like a couple years ago about like, oh y'all, we gonna be working with some nervous system. It was like all this 11th chakra stuff came in and I was like, okay, so I've been really working on it very intentionally, making really big shifts in my life, like quitting jobs that I loved, just to really mitigate the harm that I have had on my nervous system, because if I don't heal it, then I'm gonna continue harming it. So anyway. So back to the example of like, we are going to be in these experiences that our body is going to go through, or our mind will project, because our body is in a close enough proximity to what we think could happen, that it activates our nervous system in a way that oftentimes we can't clearly communicate through in those nows. It may come out as rejection, it may come out as projection, it may come out as shut down, right? It may come out as flailing about. It may just like look like complete glitches in the matrix, and like I can't, it's good, right? And that happens to me. That one, and they all happen to me because I'm human and I like to taste the whole rainbow. I really do. God, that's a whole other topic. I actually really enjoy being able to taste the whole rainbow of this human experience. Not all of it's tasty and delicious, but damn, there's this juiciness to it that really allows me to like be fertilized in my own growth and development. Anywho, so what I'm wanting to share is that realization is we are going into experiences that, although we may know it's safe and we may have our heart open to like possibilities and we have a lot of compassion for whatever, but our physical body may not be in alignment with those yet, right? It just may not be. And, you know, and we're this trifecta system anyway, so I'm giving it an ordinal experience, although it doesn't have to be. It could be that your emotional body is what spazzes out, or your mental body totally goes haywire until your body catches up with the grr, and then you're okay, right? Then you've like completely harnessed into your like, oh, this sucks, I'm fucked up. But for some, it's, I walk into a situation, I almost get in that car accident or whatever, my body's like, whoa. So really just navigating that. So my invitation as we're navigating through this, there was something, it was a piece of hair, I think. Anyway, so as we're navigating through this, you know, I have some encouragements for myself and you, if it resonates. Is to do this, like first and foremost, like whenever you almost get in that car accident, or you did get in the car accident, right? Maybe you totally fucked up, or maybe somebody really aggressed upon you, or whatever. Like, that's the thing. The thing is going to occur, right? It either is going to occur in its fullness, or it's going to kind of occur and you're going to take it there in your head. Because we're imaginal creatures. We have just been programmed and conditioned to imagine in darkness, right? So that's another topic. So when we go into these places, my first and foremost invitation is to like legitimately place a hand on your heart and on your belly and just take a breath. Remember that you are safe, you are here, period. And that it's okay, whatever you're feeling. Whatever I'm feeling is okay. I am human. I'm made to feel this. I'm also made to let these emotions and feelings move through me. I'm not made to hold this anymore. I don't want to hold it anymore. In fact, I'm going to choose to release it. I'm coming back to my body. I'm coming back to my breath. I'm coming back to presence. And it may take you a few moments to do that. And you may still need to process whatever it is that activated your nervous system in the first place, right? So it may mean that you have to go for a run, or you got to go punch it out, or you got to go dip in a cold water bath, or you got to journal it out, or you got to dance it out. Like whatever it is, you may still need to do that shit. Highly encourage that. And being able to come back to 0 point allows us to communicate, because y'all, if we can't communicate in truth, in the nows, we will go nowhere. And for us to be able to listen to others while they speak their truth in the now, whether we agree with it, whether we understand it, but just to be like, holy shit, this human is sharing with me what they're experiencing right now. How vulnerable, how authentic. I'm going to hold that. I'm just going to be a witness. I'm going to be a sacred witness, and I'm going to love them through there now. Period. I don't need to fix them. I don't need to change it. I'm going to ask them if there's anything I can do. Probably going to say no. They might ask for a hug. They might say, I need you to back the fuck off. And me not take that shit personally, right? That's a part of our collective development, is to be able to come back home, come back to at least a little bit of peace, a little bit of presence, and hopefully a fuck ton of compassion and grace, and then be able to communicate what it is I am experiencing, if it's safe to do so, right? Like, and that even works with kids. You know, I talk to a lot of kids, I talk to a lot of parents, and being able to navigate these moments in the now with your children, I'm not joking, you all, it legitimately sends quantum ripples through the matrix. For example, say you, I've had so many examples recently that like I don't want to specifically pick one and pull one, so I'm going to try to make one up, even though these are like really fresh from what's been shared with me. So what if you have a child and you're with them? I'll give this example. So this is a close one. Anyway, you're with your child and your child is in their reaction, right? They're crying, they're having an angry experience, whatever. They feel confused, they're tired, they're hungry. And you are like navigating that, like, hey, yo, what's up? Do you need something? You hungry? Like, can you give me a minute and then I'll clean up and then we can peace out? Like, whatever, right? And then some other adult comes by and they start talking to your child like, what's wrong with you? You need to stop crying. Or like, right? They try to like navigate that for you. They try to be the parent for you. And you're kind of like in shock, right? You're like, what the fuck? You just... I'm tending to this kid here, and now you're coming in, bypassing me, but you're also doing it in a way that doesn't really feel in alignment, but I don't know I can't, right? Oftentimes as a parent, the parent will just kind of like blow it off, beat themselves up, talk to themselves about this whole situation. It's so infrequent that the parent will talk to the child about it. So like in this case, what if all that happened and the next day or later on, the parent says to the child, hey, you know, when that adult came in and they were like marginalizing your feelings or telling you that you shouldn't be crying or you shouldn't be feeling that way, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know what to tell them, you know, because I want to be kind and honor them as much as I was trying to honor you. And you know, do you have any suggestions on like what I could say next time if that ever happens again, so that I can honor you and your feelings and your experience while you're also honoring me and the timeline that I'm working with? You know, and being really authentic and vulnerable with the child and saying, I don't know what to do. I'm doing the best I can. Do you have any suggestions? Well, that suggestion doesn't work, because what if the kid says, tell that person to go suck it? Yeah, okay, so thanks for that advice. Probably not going to do that. Do you have any other suggestions, right? But being able to have that conversation to get that kid's input lets them know that we are here to co-create together, no matter the age body that we're in. So then they're going to grow up feeling like they deserve to be seen and heard, because we acknowledged not only what they were feeling, but we were collaborating with them to come up with a cohesive, sustainable solution for all. That is being so present in the now, being like, okay, I don't like what this adult is saying. I don't really know what to do, so I'm going to navigate this, and then probably going to fumble around a little bit because we're humans and the parent might be fumbling. And then after, it's like, okay, wait, I'm learning this now. I don't even know what to say or do right now. Okay, it'll come to me. And then having the conscious communication with the person, the child, the partner, the lover, the boss, the mother, like whatever. Being able to do that, that is the creation of the new earth. The creation begins with sound. Y'all, literally, creation begins with sound. It's all there. But if we're not speaking it without judgment, if we're speaking it with judgment, then we're perpetuating that. If we're speaking about it with a lack mentality, well, it's always going to be like this because that's just the reality, then fuck that shit. That's going to be your reality. I just highly encourage you to not speak and think that shit. And to be able to just give each other grace, witnessing them in their navigation. Because y'all, we don't know where anyone is in their evolution, in their ascension, in their descension, in their growth. We have no idea. And there are people on this earth plane who are literally choosing to not shift their frequency. They are holding a frequency, a vibration that may feel dense. They're not bad. They're not wrong. I'm not going to fucking fight with them. I'm not going to play in that realm, but I'm going to honor the fact that that is their sovereign choice to be a total turd burglar, to be raping the earth, to be in a lack and fear mentality, and they're little projectors of that shit. Yep, see it, I don't like it, I accept it that it is. But if I start to judge that, if I start to feed into that and tell them how wrong they are, they need to be different, they need to ascend, they need to be more loving and kind, they need to, then I'm literally becoming that. I become that. That. It's that. So we get to, if we choose, we get to change. And it starts with this. It starts by coming back to this and honoring where everyone else is in this. They might not be able to touch base. They might do this and be like, whatever, I don't like the way my body feels. And that's like literally all they can think of. They might have no connection to their higher self, to source, to spirit, to the earth, to the universe, to love. They literally may not. But if you do, then you can hold that one with and for yourself. And you can hold that for others wherever they are in their navigation, right? They may be flailing about. And you might flail about too. I flail about, y'all. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm so fucking perfect because of that, right? Like, I am so perfect because of that. Because I still feel, and my nervous system still gets all wonky, and I still project, and I still like go inward and like have these conversations with myself of like, what the fuck? What are you thinking, Jane? Why would you do that? And then I'm like, oh, you're right. But I'll be humble about it, you know? And sometimes we have to go back and clean up our messes, and maybe the persons that we messed up things with, that we dirtied, you know, they may not be there. They may not want to have you clean it up. And being able to be okay with that. You know, it's like if you hurt someone's feelings because you said something that like really upset them, and you realize like a day later, you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. Ugh. And you call them to like make amends, they might say, go fuck yourself and get by. And they may not ever be open to that. And to be okay with that. You know, to be like, oh, I love them, I love me, I still love me, although I did the thing that I don't like. You know, and we ho'oponopono all of that. So anyway. So yeah, I wanted to share that we're literally moving through navigating new ways of speaking and of communicating with ourselves, with each other, while our physical bodies, who are still healing nervous system trauma responses, like 98% of us humans, from previous experiences, not including the current experiences that we're having in the now that we're processing or not. So we're navigating all of these new ways of being with a nervous system that's going through its own shift, on top of the global shift, on top of the collective shift, on top of like the solar shifts, like all of that stuff. So give yourself grace, give yourself some 0 point touchstone, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm good. Oh yeah, okay, breathe. Yeah. You know, however that looks to you. And I mean, could you imagine? I just want to share this vision. I want to hop off here. Could you just imagine? Please do this. This is an invitation. Please just take a deep breath and imagine people at war, people with their tanks and their bombs, their guns, their Kevlar bulletproof outfits, camouflage, and that focus to kill or be killed. And all the people on the streets that are fighting with our own brothers and sisters. Just imagine all of the fighting. And now imagine every one of those beings placing a hand on their own heart and their hand on their own belly. And they all just take a collective deep breath in. And they all take a collective breath out, and they remember. They remember love, they remember grace, they remember compassion, they remember sovereignty and freedom and liberation for all. They remember love. Just imagine all those beings that are in fighting and turmoil and tumultuous situations, that they all just touch stone. They go back home just for a breath or two. And then maybe the vision continues where they put down their weapons of words, their weapons of oppression, their weapons of warfare, biological, psychological, or traditional. And they put them down. They remember that life itself is bigger than that. And then they communicate with whoever they're fighting with, and they say, damn, I've been fighting with you for way too long. Brother, sister, can we either agree to disagree, or can we make amends? Can we try trust? Can we try it? I don't want you to change for me, and I don't want to change for you. Let's navigate on how do we live together in harmony while honoring each other's timelines and lifestyles and choices. Because here's the thing, when we're back here, we don't do harm. We don't do harm to anyone else, to the children, to the planet, to the plants, to the animals. We don't. We can't. Love doesn't do that. Love doesn't do those harmful things. Not when it's being expressed. So we're here to create the new earth. It's already here. We get to be the trailblazers of it with our businesses and our communities and all of those things. But y'all, it's with our words. It's how we communicate with each other. Without communication, we have nothing. So if there's any support that I can offer you in your navigation and in your awareness and clearing and finding the roots of maybe some things that are continually kind of like throwing you off, some physical pains, mental pains, emotional pains, like some gray spots on your own spiritual path that you're just like, what the fuck? I don't even know, but I know I don't feel as good as I want to feel. I offer one-on-one sessions. I also teach, like I said, quantum spirituality. I'm in the middle of an online course right now that I'm offering. So I'll be offering more online courses. So keep in the loop by subscribing to this channel, and you can stay informed by going to my website, janetheguide.com. Ding. So remember how loved you are, right? Please just remember that you're loved, you're perfect, you're whole, you're complete, and you have no idea what the fuck to do, because none of us do. We're all literally making it up. Go. So give yourself some grace and give your brothers and sisters some grace, y'all. And take care of yourselves and each other. And always just come back to your body, your breath in this now moment. So I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again on another now. Okay, peace.